Hi there, this is General Lexo from Prosa Tutorials, and in this video, this is a complete video tutorial related to Kindle Publishing, where you basically are going to learn all of the exact steps that you need to take so you can start building a Kindle Publishing business in 2018. I already did a video about this in the past year, just 6 months ago, but in this video I want to go more in detail about certain things that I didn't go on my previous video. So if you already watched my previous video related to this, then a lot of the things I'm going to talk about along this video are quite similar, because Kindle Publishing really hasn't changed a lot despite a lot of ideas that are spread around from other people. Kindle Publishing really hasn't changed a lot. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what is Kindle Publishing, why you should get into Kindle Publishing, also certain ideas that you should avoid, or in other words, you shouldn't believe in these ideas. These are ideas that are spread by other YouTubers, by other bloggers out there, and if you follow those ideas that these people are providing, what happens is you're going to waste a lot of time, possibly even money, following strategies that simply aren't effective. Unfortunately, when it comes to Kindle Publishing, there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of misleading ideas out there, and I mean it's just a complete mess. And hopefully this is one of the reasons why I created this video course. It's because I want to really provide one of the best video courses when it comes to Kindle Publishing. I want to guide people who are starting out online, because I also started online a few years ago, and I spent a lot of years doing wrong things because I followed the wrong people and I followed the wrong strategies that didn't make me any kind of money. So I want to provide a video where people can follow the strategies, they can start applying them, and have something that really works when it comes to Kindle Publishing. And the other thing I'm going to talk about is, of course, I'm going to explain how you can basically publish your first book when it comes to Kindle Publishing. So I'm going to explain the whole process of how you can choose keywords for your first book, how you can publish your book inside of Kindle and KDP in this case, how you can publish also your book inside of CreateSpace, where you publish your book as a paperback. I'm going to also explain lastly how you can publish your book as an audiobook, so on all 3 different platforms. If at this point you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, just keep watching this video, because along this video I'm going to explain everything more in detail. So stay there and let's get started. Anyway, before we continue with this video, I just want to mention this course called Self-Publishing Revolution. Everything that I'm going to explain along this video is not strategies that I personally created. It's nothing that I created. And basically what I'm going to explain is the strategies that I found inside of this course called Self-Publishing Revolution. This is a course of course, for Kindle Publishing. It's for nonfiction, and that's basically what I'm going to talk about, how you can publish nonfiction books inside of Amazon, because those are the books that are actually profitable. Fiction nowadays, it's very hard for you to do money with fiction when it comes to Kindle Publishing. So if you had ideas of making money with fiction, then I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. Of course, if you want to do it, just go out there, do it. But I must warn you, it's very hard for you to make money with fiction, because it's very, very competitive inside of Amazon. People, when it comes to fiction, people reduce their books to basically $1 per copy, which basically don't do any kind of money. So it's very hard for you to make money with fiction books. This course is about nonfiction. Also, I must remind you that this is going to be a long ass video, so I'm going to separate this video in 2 parts. So this is the first part, and in the end I'm going to provide you the second part of this video, because this is a long video. And also recommend for you to get a notepad, something where you can start taking a few notes about the things that I talk about along this video. Anyway, if you want to get quicker results, I recommend for you to get Self-Publishing Revolution. This is the course. This is one of the best courses for nonfiction. It's a course that you can see there's a lot of people showing the results of doing money with this course. I must remind you once again, all of the information that I'm providing, of course I can't go to the biggest details and the biggest secrets of this course, because otherwise Luca, the Stephanie, who is the creator of this course, probably would sue me, or probably he would appear with a baseball bat in front of my house, and that's something I certainly don't want to do. So I can't provide you the biggest secrets of this course, but if I'm going to try to do my best to provide you all of the basic information that you need in order for you to get started with Kindle Publishing. So if you want to get all of the secret strategies so you can be successful with Kindle Publishing, I recommend for you to get this course. You have a link right below on the description from this video. So what exactly is Kindle Publishing? Why you should get involved with Kindle Publishing? And I'm also going to talk about what are the ideas or the strategies you should avoid listening and following. So I'm going to talk about all of that. And what exactly is Kindle Publishing? Well, this is basically a book business. You go to Kindle Direct Publishing, which is this website. And once again, I'm going to leave all of the necessary links right below on the description from this video so you can easily access this website. And also, if you want to take the course that I mentioned called Self-Publishing Revolution, or even get the tool that I use for Kindle Publishing, because I actually use the tool to help me find more easily keywords for my books, which I'm going to talk about later on. Anyway, this is a book business, and when I talk about building a book business, a lot of people start having this idea, I'm not exactly sure if I like that, if I'm that passionate about building a book business or whatever. But I must remind you that when it comes to building a business, it doesn't matter whether if you like it or if you are exactly passionate about your business. It doesn't really matter. When I go to Amazon, I publish books. It's not because I'm really excited about publishing books inside of Amazon, but it's a great way for me to make money online, and it's an opportunity that I just take advantage because it's a great way for me to make money online. Building a business is not about your passions. You build a business around other people's passions because, I mean, those are your customers. Those are the people who are going to waste money by purchasing your products. So businesses normally, I'm not saying in all cases, of course, there are people who build businesses around their passions, but in most cases, people build businesses around other people's passions or other people's needs. For example, I mean, building a current business is not something that is that excited, but there are people who build current businesses because people need to eat corn. So that is the reason why people build businesses, is because they want to make money. So this is a book business where you go to Amazon and you publish books inside of keywords or topics that are profitable inside of Amazon. Why you should build a Kindle Publishing business is because this is possibly one of the easiest ways for you to start making money online. And the reason why people struggle to make money with Kindle Publishing is because, unfortunately, there's a lot of misleading information out there. For example, YouTubers and also bloggers telling new publishers to promote their books inside of Facebook, go to Twitter, promote their books over there, or build blogs, also do press releases, build a brand around their Kindle Publishing business. I mean, there's a lot of misleading information out there, and if you follow that information, what happens is you start applying ineffective strategies, you waste a ton of time following ineffective strategies, and in the end of the day, you don't see any kind of money. You just waste your time and possibly even your money if you're outsourcing your books. So even if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, just listen, because at least if next you watch another video from someone else and that person tells you that you should promote your books inside of Facebook and do all of this crap, at least you know that person is just talking bullshit and you shouldn't listen to that person. So Kindle Publishing is one of the easiest way for you to start making money online, because you don't need to have a website. You're going to use Amazon where you are going to publish your books. You don't need to build a YouTube channel. You don't need to learn, for example, how to do Facebook advertisement. and create content that people are exactly that excited about. For example, if you have a YouTube channel, you need to create content for your YouTube channel, or if you have a blog and so on. For example, if you wanted to do affiliate marketing, then you probably would need to build a YouTube channel, you would need to review products and so on. And that is not the case with Kindle Publishing, because you can outsource your content. And that is something that I strongly recommend for you to do. Of course, if you want, you can always write your own books. If you want to cut some costs, you can always write your own books. But the reason, and actually that it was the way that I've started doing in the past year, I started doing Kindle Publishing because I didn't have much money to invest. So I started by writing my own books. But if you have some money to invest, I always recommend for you to outsource your books, which I'm going to show to you later on how you can do it, because writing your own books is very, very time consuming. And if you want to scale up your Kindle Publishing business quickly, then the only way is really by outsourcing your books to a company of ghostwriters, or for you to hire ghostwriters inside of Upwork and get people to write books for you. So when it comes to Kindle Publishing, great part of your work is really being able, and I would say 70 to 80% of your work is being able to find hot topics where people are just looking to purchase books, and being able to rank your books for those hot topics so people are able to easily find your books and purchase your books. Basically what I mean about this is when you go to Amazon, and this is what most people do when they want to purchase a book, they go to Amazon. They don't go to Facebook, they don't go to Twitter. I mean, people go to Facebook when they want to talk to their friends, or if they want to publish a new picture and get 300 and 400 likes so they can feel good about themselves. But they certainly don't go to Facebook to purchase a book. People go to Amazon, and you need to learn how to promote your books inside of Amazon so you are able to sell your books well and do money with Amazon. That's where people go when they want to purchase a book. And let's imagine that I'm a customer, I want to purchase a book. So this is what most people do. They go over here to the search box, they select the Kindle search option, and some people don't even do that, and they search for the topic that they want to purchase a book about. So if I wanted to purchase a book related to yoga, I would write over here yoga. This is the topic or the title of the book that I want, and this is what we refer to a keyword. So a keyword is nothing more than a word or a combination of words that people insert inside of this search box when they want to find information about that specific topic, title. In this case, it's the title of a book. So this is what we refer to keywords. And what most people do is they go over here to yoga, they see this listing, and most people immediately purchase one of the first top 5 books that appears inside of this listing. Actually, these first books are advertisement, but they immediately purchase one of the first top 5 books that appears inside of this listing, because most people don't like to scroll down a lot, because it's a lot of scrolling. It's kind of annoying, and most people simply don't go to the second, third page of results. So if your book, if you are a publisher and you have a book related to yoga, and if your book for some reason is ranking in the second or third page of results, most likely you won't get a lot of sales. So what exactly you want to do as a publisher is, when you publish a book, and I don't recommend for you to publish a book related to yoga because it's very competitive, but if you had a book related to yoga, you would want to increase as much as possible the visibility of your book, and you do that by being able to rank your book in the first 5 top results for this topic, which is yoga. So that's exactly what you would want to do. So let's say that you have a yoga book, you would want to rank your book in this first top 5 results, because that's where the most purchases are happening when it comes to yoga. Most people search for yoga and they immediately purchase one of the first top 5 books that appears inside of this listing. Most people base this decision of whether if they want to purchase a book or not. It depends on 1, the author name, of that. If it's a famous author inside of that niche, then of course you can't compete with a famous author, because I must remind you that, I mean, of course you can always, if you are writing your own books, you can always publish books with your own author name, or with your own name in this case. But I mean, if you're outsourcing your books, then I don't recommend for you to publish those books with your own name, because it's not your book, and you're going to use a pen name. So if you're using a pen name, nobody knows who that name is, and you're not famous inside of Amazon. So in your case, you cannot base your sales on your author name, or in this case on your pen name. So what most people do is they purchase a book depending on the author name. If it's a famous author, then of course that book is going to get more sales. You can't really compete with that. Then they base on the cover of that book. If it's from an author they don't know who exactly it is, they base on the cover of that book. So you need to have an enticing cover. Then also the title is kind of important, but most of the sales happen depending on the cover that you have for that book, and also on the rating that you have when it comes to the reviews. So having a good rating for your book is extremely important. So most people do exactly that. They base their purchase on the cover of that book, and also on the rating. And let's say that this is your book. They would click over here. They probably would just take a glance on the description, so they can get a better idea of what exactly this book is about. Most people don't scroll down and start reading the reviews for that book. Most people calmly don't do that. Of course, some people do it, but most people certainly don't do that. And they just stick based on this information, and they decide whether if they want to purchase this book or not based on this information, on the cover, on the rating that they see over here. So you always want to have a good rating, and also on description. And then they simply click on this buy now button. And if this was your book, you would get 70% of royalty of this pricing. So you would get 70%. I'm not certain how much that would be, but you would get 70% of this pricing. So 70% of this money would be for you. So how can you rank your book well inside of Amazon? Well, I already spoke about a few aspects, but one of the most important ones is the number of sales that a book gets. So the more sales that a book gets inside of Amazon, usually, it's not always the case, but usually it tends to rank better inside of a particular listing. So in a way, you want to increase the sellability of your book, so you can sell the most copies of your book as possible, because the more copies that you sell of your book, the better it will rank inside of a particular listing that you're trying to rank for. And you do that by the few aspects that I already mentioned. The cover of your book is extremely important. You need to have an enticing cover. You can't really get away with the things that famous authors do. I mean, famous authors have probably a website, a YouTube channel, a Facebook fan page. They have thousands and thousands of followers. And whenever they publish a book, they immediately sell a lot of copies. And they can get away with a lot of things, including a cover that is not that enticing. I'm not saying that this cover is exactly bad, because it's not the case. But I wouldn't use this cover. And the reason I wouldn't use this cover is you can see that it just blends into Amazon way too much. The cover is white, the page is white, and it just blends way too well. So this is something that you always want to do, and I recommend for you to take note of this, especially once you get your cover. You always want to have a cover that has contrasting colors. You don't want to have a white cover, because that simply blends way too much into Amazon. And I mean, you want to make your book as visible as possible, and that's something that you can do with your cover. Simply have contrasting colors is something that you can do. So you want to have a cover that is not white. And the other thing is also optimizing the title of your book. You want to optimize the title, and you can see that the title is this first part. You can see that it's separated by 2 dots, and this is the subtitle of this book. You want to optimize the title of your book with your main keyword, and you want to put the main keyword in the first has the first word of your title, because Amazon gives the most importance to the first words that appears inside of a title. And if was my book, and this is from a famous author, but if this was my book, what I would do is I would remove all of this over here, and I would just leave yoga as the title of my book, and that is how I would optimize this book for yoga. So this is something that you should always do. You should always optimize the title of your book. The other thing is the description. You can also put a few keywords inside of the description of your book for your main keyword, or for other related keywords that are also related to yoga. And once again, you can't get away with a description like this one. I mean, this is a poor description. It doesn't provide much information. You need to provide more information than this in your case. So always have a better description than this one. It can be a description where you just give more details about what exactly is the content of your book, but you simply want to have more content than this description. You can easily see that this is a famous author just by the number of reviews. So, I mean, you can't use this as an example for your book. And actually, this book isn't selling that well, but I'm going to explain more about that later on. Anyway, that is the aspects. The other thing, and the last one, is the rating that you have for your book. You should always have at least a rating of 4.5 stars, because this is what happens with a lot of listings. You go to a listing and you only see books with a 5-star rating or 4.5 star rating. And if your book, for example, has 3 stars, 4 stars, and if your customers can choose between a book that has 3 or 4 stars, between your book and another one that has a better rating, then of course they are going to choose a book that has a better rating. So the lower is your rating, the less sales you get inside of Amazon, and the less sales you get inside of Amazon, the worse your book will rank inside of Amazon, and so on and so on. So the rating of your book is extremely important, and also getting a decent number of reviews is also important for you to get a good rating inside of Amazon. The other aspect that I want to talk about here, and I can't go much in detail about this following strategies, because these are one of the many main strategies explained throughout Self-Publishing Revolution. But I'm still going to provide you a few ideas so you can get a better understanding of what exactly you need to do and also avoid when it comes to your Kindle publishing business. One of the main reasons why a lot of publishers aren't able to build a sustainable business side of Kindle is because they do something which we call the shotgun approach. Basically what happens is they have an author name, and whenever they find a profitable keyword, or at least that they consider profitable inside of Amazon, they immediately publish a book under that same author name. So what happens is sooner or later they have an author name which has books published related to yoga, other books published related to martial arts, cookbooks, all published under the same author name. And as you may imagine, that doesn't make much sense, but also once you do that, you are working against the Amazon algorithm. If you want to have a sustainable business, you need to learn how to work in favor of the Amazon algorithm, and you do that by simply not using that strategy, if you can even call that a strategy. So what you need to do is you have one author name, and one author name or one pen name should only publish books under the same niche. So if you have a pen name and you start publishing books related to yoga, which I already said you shouldn't do, but if you start doing that, then you should only publish with that pen name books under the spirituality niche. And that is the only way that you are able to build a sustainable business, because you are working in favor of the Amazon algorithm once you do that. The other thing is when it comes to choosing keywords. You shouldn't immediately go after keywords that have too much results. For example, in this case, this is yoga. This keyword has way too many results. Once you have a new pen name, of course you don't have any kind of books published inside of Amazon, and in some way you need to start building a reputation inside of Amazon. So basically you need to earn Amazon trust, and once Amazon starts trusting your pen name because you provide good content and so on, and because you already have several books published under the same niche, they start ranking your books better for keywords that have more results inside of Amazon. So first, you should always publish books for keywords that have the least results possible. Once you start filling those keywords with your own books, then you start going after keywords that have more results, and so on. So that is how you are able to build a sustainable Kindle business.